This is new this morning. Housing advocates say the province's plan to build 1.5 million homes by 2031 needs to include more investment in affordable options.
A new report from the United Way and the Cooperative Housing Federation says nearly 400,000 households will need support by 2030, but over 55,000 affordable homes are at risk of being lost. The Built for Good two-year plan proposes constructing 15,000 affordable homes, providing rental assistance to thousands of low-income households, and repairing 65,000 existing homes. So joining us live now for more on this new report is Heather McDonald, President and CEO of the United Way of Greater Toronto. Heather, thank you so much for joining us. Maybe you can outline what your report is finding in terms of the solution that's needed to get us to our housing target.
Thank you so much for having me. What this report identifies, it quantifies the needs we will have for deeply affordable and modestly affordable housing by 2035. And we are projecting a need of 805,000 deeply affordable housing units will be required. And to give context, that's the size of the population of Mississauga. So we really need to start addressing this need now. We all know we're in a housing crisis. We can see it, and it will only get worse if we don't address this issue, and we will leave too many Ontarians behind.
So, Heather, how do we get this done? Because, we understand based on costs and borrowing costs and land costs, et cetera, that, builders really aren't building that much. We saw the shortfall yesterday here. Does this need to be, more managed by government rather than private? How do we get here?
It's a great question. And private developers and private market absolutely have a role in the housing, in creating housing. But by definition, they need to create revenue for that to work. And these deeply affordable and modestly affordable housing just doesn't bring in the revenue, to your point, to make that construction viable. So we really need government and nonprofit and co-op housing providers to work together to create this housing stock. The last time we really had investment around social housing was in the 80s. And a lot, as you mentioned at the beginning, a lot of this housing is aging and needs a lot of investment, capital investment to preserve it as well. But we know that nonprofit and co-op housing providers will steward this housing. By definition, they are nonprofits. So they will ensure that those housing remain deeply affordable and modestly affordable for the generations to come. So this is an important investment now to preserve the health of Ontarians moving forward. And we've seen the pressure on other systems when we don't respond to the underlying housing crisis. We're seeing the need to invest in shelters, the need to further invest in hospitals, the pressure this is putting in our justice system. We spend billions of dollars a year to address the symptoms related to and housing, deeply affordable and housing stock that's not being addressed, not being built and preserved.
Yeah, and Heather, your report also highlights that over 55,000 affordable housing units are at risk of being lost. Why is this?
Well, the first is certainly as our population has grown, we know why we need more housing. So as the population grows, housing is becoming more scarce. Those are becoming more popular to potentially create more revenue and increase rent and look at opportunities to purchase some of those buildings and provide them to a market that can afford higher rents. The other are the capital needs that I mentioned before. So we know that 85% of the social housing stock is over 35 years old. So this is requiring a significant amount of capital investment, and nonprofits and co-op housing providers need help to address these capital needs, because by having deeply affordable rent, they're not creating the revenue to address these significant capital needs, like roof, like new windows. Recently, legislation around new sprinklers. That's very expensive for a nonprofit or co-op provider to pay for when they are not creating the revenue that you would with higher market rents.
Okay, appreciate this. Heather McDonald is the president and CEO of the United Way of Greater Toronto. Thanks for the time this morning. Appreciate you releasing this report here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.